Before we begin, take a second to subscribe to this channel, because the stories we uncover here are not the kind you hear every day, and the next one could be sitting quietly in your own home right now. Today I want to take you back in time, not just to a year, but to a moment when money itself was changing, when metal, politics, and history collided in South Africa. This is not just about a coin. This is about survival, scarcity, and a forgotten piece of national identity that most people have never truly understood. The year is 1974. South Africa is in the middle of deep economic shifts. Inflation is rising, metal prices are unstable, and governments around the world are quietly realizing that small denomination coins are costing more to make than they are worth. South Africa was no exception. The half-cent coin, already small, already ignored, was becoming a problem rather than a solution. To the public, it was almost useless. To the mint, it was a burden. And that is where the story becomes interesting. In 1974, the South African half-cent was no longer meant for everyday circulation. Shops didn't want it. People didn't want it. Most citizens never even saw one. Instead of being released into pockets and cash drawers, these coins were quietly struck in extremely limited numbers and placed into official mint sets only. No mass circulation, no public awareness, just a silent production run, tucked away for collectors who had no idea what they were holding. Most men watching this right now grew up in a world where money had weight. You felt it in your hand. You counted it carefully, and you understood that every coin told a story. The 1974 half-cent tells a story of the end of an era. It represents the final breath of fractional currency in South Africa, the last time the country tried to hold on to something that no longer made economic sense. What makes this coin extraordinary is not its size, because it is tiny. Not its design, because it looks simple at first glance. What makes it extraordinary is that it was never meant to survive. It was never meant to matter. And yet, here we are. The metal composition itself reflects the struggle of the time. Rising copper prices forced mints to rethink everything. The half-cent of 1974 was struck with cost efficiency in mind, meaning quality control was ruthless. Coins that didn't meet exact standards were melted down almost immediately. Only the best strikes made it into mint sets, and even those were produced in very limited quantities. Many of those mint sets didn't survive intact. Over the decades, they were broken apart. Coins were separated, lost, mishandled, or damaged. Packaging deteriorated. Families passed them down without understanding their importance. Some were sold off cheaply during hard times. Others were forgotten in drawers, safes, and old wooden cabinets that haven't been opened in years. Here's where seasoned men tend to lean in, because this part matters. Unlike common collectible coins, the 1974 South African half-cent for mint sets only exists in a narrow window of perfection. Condition is everything. We're talking about strike sharpness, surface integrity, original luster, and absolute absence of circulation wear. These coins were never touched by commerce, and the moment they are, their value collapses. That razor-thin margin is what separates an ordinary curiosity from a historic treasure. There are also subtle variations. Tiny differences in die alignment, edge finishing, and surface texture that only experienced eyes notice. These are not flaws. They are fingerprints. Proof that the coin came from a specific batch, at a specific time, under specific minting pressures. To the untrained eye, they mean nothing. To serious collectors, they mean everything. This coin also represents something psychological. It marks the moment when governments quietly admitted that small change was losing meaning. For men who lived through that era, this coin feels like a ghost of a system that once worked differently. You earned money differently. You saved it differently. And you respected it differently. Because the 1974 half-cent never circulated, there are no childhood memories attached to it. No candy bought with it. No bus fare. No sound of it dropping into a pocket. It exists outside of nostalgia, which makes it pure history rather than sentiment. And history, when it becomes rare enough, becomes powerful. That high-end collectors don't chase this coin because it's pretty. They chase it because it completes a narrative. It is the final punctuation mark in South Africa's fractional coinage story. Once it disappeared, it never came back. No revival, no reissue, just silence. Over the years, private sales have happened quietly. No headlines, no noise, just discreet transactions between people who understand exactly what they're holding. These are not impulse buyers. These are men who have collected for decades, who know that true value is often hidden in what everyone else ignored. If you or someone you know owns a 1974 South African mint set, especially one that has never been opened, never been tampered with, you are holding more than metal. You are holding a moment frozen in time, one that cannot be recreated, one that cannot be replaced. Before we begin, take a second right now to subscribe to the channel and stay with us. Because today's story is not just about a small coin. It's about memory, history, and hidden value that many people overlook. Imagine holding something so small that most people would ignore it, something that once passed through countless hands without a second thought. A half-cent coin from 1977, South Africa. To some, it's just old change. To others, especially those who understand history, craftsmanship, and rarity, it represents a moment frozen in time. This coin comes from an era many of you remember well, when money still felt solid, when coins had weight, meaning, and purpose beyond convenience. In the late 1970s, South Africa was going through economic shifts, political tension, and changes in everyday life. The half-cent was already losing its practical buying power, yet it was still being produced, still part of daily transactions. That alone makes this coin interesting. Governments do not keep producing coins without reason, and when a denomination is close to disappearing, its final years often carry special importance for collectors decades later. The 1977 half-cent was struck during a time when inflation was slowly pushing small denominations out of use. People often tossed these coins into drawers, jars, or old wallets. Many were lost, damaged, or melted down. Very few were preserved carefully, especially in high-quality condition. This is where the story changes from ordinary to powerful. This coin is small, but its design speaks loudly. The metal, the strike, and the finish reflect the minting standards of the time. It carries the authority of the state, the identity of a nation, and the craftsmanship of mint workers who likely never imagined their work would be discussed decades later. When you look closely, you are not just seeing metal. You are seeing history you can touch. For men who grew up handling coins daily, this brings back memories. Buying bread, newspapers, or sweets with loose change in your pocket. Hearing the sound of coins clinking together. Back then, money felt real. Not digital, not invisible. This half-cent is a reminder of that era, when value was tangible. Collectors today are not only chasing gold and silver. They are chasing stories. Coins like the 1977 South African half-cent tell a story of the end of an era. When something is no longer needed in everyday life, it either disappears forever or becomes a collectible. This coin chose the second path. What makes this particular coin even more fascinating is how overlooked it has been. For years, people dismissed it because of its low face value. But serious collectors know that face value means nothing. Rarity, condition, historical context, and demand are what truly matter. And over time, demand has quietly grown. Older collectors, especially men who appreciate history, strategy, and long-term thinking, understand this well. They know that true value often hides in plain sight. This coin represents patience. Someone who kept it safe for decades, resisting the urge to throw it away, unknowingly preserved a piece of national heritage. There is also something deeply satisfying about owning a coin that survived when so many others didn't. It wasn't bent, corroded, or worn into nothing. It stayed intact while the world changed around it. That kind of survival adds character, and character adds value. Another important factor is that modern collectors are running out of high-quality examples. Many coins from the 1970s exist only in poor condition. When a well-preserved piece appears, it creates attention. Quiet attention, not hype, but serious interest from people who know exactly what they are looking at. For viewers in the 55 to 65 plus age group, this coin connects past and present. It reminds you of a time when saving something small could later become something meaningful. It also proves that knowledge and experience matter more than trends. Younger generations chase quick profits. Experienced men recognize slow, steady appreciation. Holding this coin is like holding a lesson. A lesson about patience, about understanding history, and about not judging value too quickly. It's not flashy. It doesn't shout. It waits for the right person to recognize it. And now, after decades, this once-forgotten half-cent has reached a level that surprises many. What was once almost worthless in daily use has become highly desirable in the collector market. Condition, rarity, and demand have aligned, and the result is remarkable. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a chance to discover treasures from the past that could change your future. You don't want to miss this. Imagine holding a piece of history in your hand, something that has survived decades, even centuries, and now sits quietly in a small mint set, waiting to be appreciated. Today, we're talking about a coin that's more than just currency. It's a time capsule, a conversation starter, and, for those who understand its true rarity, a small fortune waiting to be claimed. Now, picture South Africa in 1979. The world was shifting, technology was just beginning to whisper promises of the future, and collectors everywhere were seeking pieces that told stories beyond the everyday. In that year, a unique coin made its appearance, not in circulation like the ones in your pocket or piggy bank, but carefully preserved in mint sets, gleaming with a quiet pride. This coin is the South African half-cent 1979 that you may be wondering. Why would a coin that seems so small, so unassuming, hold value decades later? The answer lies in rarity, craftsmanship, and the story it carries. Unlike coins minted for everyday use, coins in mint sets were specially produced. They were never meant to jingle in pockets or fade under sunlight. Each one was struck with care, capturing every intricate detail perfectly. They were kept safe, untouched, like a rare wine aging in a cellar, only increasing in value over time. For men in their 50s, 60s, and beyond, there's something inherently fascinating about objects that survive the passage of time. Maybe it's nostalgia for a world that seemed simpler, a connection to history that textbooks can't provide. Or perhaps it's the thrill of knowing that a small object, seemingly insignificant to most, can hold immense value if you know what to look for. Collecting coins isn't just about money. It's about legacy. It's about having something tangible to pass down to your children or grandchildren, something that tells a story about where we came from and how we saw the world. The South African half-cent 1979 in mint sets embodies that spirit perfectly. It's a coin that represents not just an era in South Africa's history, but a meticulous attention to detail that collectors across the globe have come to admire. And here's where the excitement builds. Coins like this are not easy to find. Many have been lost over the years, melted down, or tucked away in forgotten drawers. The ones that remain, especially in pristine mint set condition, are highly sought after by serious collectors. Think about it. If you were hunting for something rare, something that could spark conversations, bring joy, and potentially become an investment, wouldn't you want to know more about it? Consider the artistry involved. The coin may be small, but every line, every curve, tells a story. The design, the precision of the minting process, and the historical context make this coin a miniature masterpiece. Unlike modern coins churned out in millions, these half-cents were created with care, and every single one that survives today has become a rare gem. Now, here's a point many people overlook. Rarity alone isn't what drives value. Condition matters immensely. That's why mint sets are so crucial. While circulated coins might have scratches, discoloration, or wear, mint set coins remain as close to perfect as the day they were made. They retain that original luster, that unmistakable sheen that tells collectors, this is special. And in the world of numismatics, perfection is priceless. For viewers in their 50s and 60s, there's also an undeniable appeal in watching history unfold through your fingertips. This coin is more than metal. It's a testament to the past. It's a reminder that even in a world that constantly changes, some things endure, waiting for those with the patience and knowledge to appreciate them. And here's something that will get you thinking. Coins like the South African half-cent 1979 aren't just collectibles, they're investments. They aren't tied to the stock market, they don't fluctuate with daily news, and they don't depend on interest rates. They're tangible, finite, and often increase in value over time. Imagine holding a coin that you can admire today, enjoy for years, and someday pass down to someone who will recognize its significance and its worth. Collectors around the world know this, and that's why the South African half-cent 1979, especially in mint-set condition, has become highly sought after. It's rare, historically significant, and visually stunning. Owning one means owning a piece of history, a piece of a story that most people will never touch or even see. And let's be honest, there's a thrill in owning something that very few others have. A coin like this isn't just a hobby, it's a statement. It says that you understand value, that you respect history, and that you recognize opportunity when it appears. Now, you might be curious. If this coin is so rare and desirable, what kind of value are we talking about? Well, the South African half-cent 1979 in mint-set condition can command an impressive price in today's collector market. A coin like this, preserved in pristine condition, can reach up to $5,000. That's not just money. It's proof that patience, knowledge, and a little passion can transform something small and overlooked into something extraordinary. So, whether you're an experienced collector, a history enthusiast, or someone simply fascinated by rare treasures, the South African half-cent 1979 offers a remarkable opportunity. It's a chance to connect with the past, secure a piece of value, and hold in your hand something that has transcended decades. As you think about it, imagine the pride in showing someone this coin, explaining its story, and knowing that it's not just a coin. It's a rare artifact with a tangible value of thousands of dollars. That's the magic of collectibles like this. That's why collectors keep searching, keep preserving, and keep passing these treasures down through generations. So, next time you see a coin in a mint set, remember, it's more than metal. It's history. It's craftsmanship. It's a potential investment that might just change the way you look at the world of collectibles. And for those who take the time to appreciate and understand it, the rewards can be truly remarkable. Remember, if you enjoyed discovering this story and want to see more treasures that hold history, value, and mystery, make sure you're subscribed. And one last thing. This coin, the South African half-cent 1979 in mint-set condition, can be worth as much as $5,000 today. That's the kind of discovery that makes history feel alive in your hands. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on the most fascinating coin stories, rare finds, and hidden treasures from around the world. If you've ever wondered about coins that carry history, mystery, and real investment potential, you're in the right place. Today, I want to take you on a journey back in time to a coin that's not just a piece of metal, but a piece of history, and one that collectors and investors alike have come to cherish. This coin may look small, humble even, but it holds a story that spans continents, decades, and generations. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why this coin is worth more than most people realize, why it commands attention, and how it has quietly become a prized possession for those who know its true value. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that was minted during a pivotal time in South Africa's history. This isn't just any coin. It's the 1975 half-cent, produced exclusively in mint sets. That means it wasn't meant for everyday circulation. Instead, it was crafted to showcase the artistry, the precision, and the pride of South African minting. And because it was only available in mint sets, every piece is inherently rare. Now, let's talk about why this coin matters. Many people see coins as mere currency, something to spend and forget. But coins like this one are a window into a country's culture, economy, and craftsmanship. The 1975 half-cent is a testament to South Africa's minting expertise and the careful attention given to even the smallest denominations. It's easy to overlook because of its size and face value. But if you're a collector, you know that rarity and condition are everything. The 1975 half cent isn't just rare, it's a coin that carries historical significance. It was minted in an era of change, a time when South Africa was evolving and every coin produced reflected a story of resilience, pride, and identity. When you hold this coin, you're not just holding copper, you're holding a fragment of history. And collectors, especially those in our age group who remember coins from decades past, can instantly appreciate the craftsmanship and care that went into producing these mint set pieces. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1975 half cent is its condition. Because it was only ever released in mint sets, many of these coins have survived in pristine condition, untouched by circulation. That means the luster, the intricate details, and the edges remain as sharp today as they were when first struck nearly half a century ago. For collectors, this level of preservation is priceless. The coin tells a story that a circulated coin simply cannot. Every line, every curve, every engraving speaks to the era, to the people who handled it, and to the culture it represents. Now, let's consider why this coin has become a sought-after item among collectors worldwide. When it comes to numismatics, rarity, historical significance, and condition are the three pillars that determine a coin's value. The 1975 half cent checks all three boxes. It's rare because it was only part of mint sets, significant because it represents a particular period in South African history, and highly sought after in pristine condition. That combination is exactly what makes a coin not just a collectible, but a potential investment. And here's the part that excites collectors the most. This coin isn't just a nostalgic piece of the past. Over the years, the value of the 1975 half cent has steadily risen. While many coins from that era can be found for a few dollars, the mint set versions of this coin have become rare treasures. Collectors around the world, particularly those in Europe and the United States, have recognized the scarcity and have competed to acquire these pieces, driving the price up. Another reason this coin commands attention is the story it tells about craftsmanship. Modern coins are often mass-produced with efficiency in mind, but mint-set coins like this one were designed with precision, with attention to detail that is almost artisanal. When you hold a mint-set coin in your hand, you can see the difference. The sharper designs, the clear inscriptions, and the perfect edges. It's the kind of coin that makes a collector pause and appreciate the artistry, not just the monetary value. For our audience today, many of whom grew up with coins, the 1975 half cent has a special resonance. It's a reminder of the coins we used to see in our pockets, on our counters, and in our change jars, but elevated to a collectible level. It's nostalgic, yet rare. It's familiar, yet valuable. And for those who love coins as much as we do, that combination is irresistible. Collectors often ask, why invest in coins like this? The answer is simple. Coins like the 1975 half cent aren't just collectibles, they're tangible assets. They hold historical significance, aesthetic appeal, and financial value. Over time, coins with limited availability, preserved condition, and historical importance have consistently shown appreciation. That makes this coin not just a beautiful artifact, but a potential long-term investment that can be passed down through generations. And while some might underestimate the appeal of a half-cent coin, the reality is that numismatists, experienced collectors, understand that the smaller denominations often have the biggest stories. They're proof that rarity doesn't have to come from size or face value. It comes from history, preservation, and the story behind the coin. And in that regard, the 1975 half cent is a perfect example. Now, before we wrap up, let's talk numbers, because I know that's what many of you have been waiting for. The 1975 half cent, in mint set condition, has recently been valued at around $2,800. Yes, you heard that correctly. For a coin that most people would glance at and dismiss, this small piece of copper has quietly become a highly sought-after treasure, commanding a premium among serious collectors and investors alike. It's a testament to the value of knowledge, patience, and appreciation for history. So, The next time you come across an old coin, especially one from a mint set, don't underestimate it. Sometimes the smallest coins hide the biggest stories and the biggest surprises. Coins like the 1975 half cent remind us that history, beauty, and value can be found in the most unexpected places. Holding one is like holding a piece of the past, a tangible connection to a time, a place, and a story that deserves to be preserved and admired. Thank you for watching today. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1975 half cent, make sure you hit that subscribe button and share this video with fellow collectors. Remember, every coin has a story, but some, like this one, have a story worth thousands. Stay curious, keep exploring, and treasure the history that surrounds you.